Ciao, y'all. Today I would like to talk to you about cutting boards. Today I want to just go over real quickly the different materials that are available for cutting boards and sort of what to look for and look out for. I know you've heard a lot of this before, but I'm hoping I'm going to get into some stuff that you have not heard before. First material I want to talk about is wood. This is wood. And wooden cutting boards are, most of the time you'll see wooden cutting boards is what we call edge grain, and these are a little bit less expensive than end grain cutting boards. Now, if you've seen videos already about edge grain versus end grain, you get the idea. The grain is going this way, it's an edge grain. If you're looking at the end of the wood, it's an edge grain, it's an end grain. If you're looking at the end of the wood, it's an end grain. So imagine this cutting board, if I stacked up a whole bunch of them and cut them this way into cutting boards, you'd see that checker pattern all over here. Watch out. Some manufacturers will make these, a lot of like the ones that come out of China or whatever, where they're actually edge grain, but they're cut into blocks to look like end grain. So when you're looking at end grain, what you want to see is those little curves of where you're looking at the end of the wood. Now, a lot of people will tout end grain cutting boards as being superior because you're cutting into the fibers of the wood and therefore it's softer for your knife. And that sounds perfectly logical to me, but I'm not convinced that's true. And here's why. And by the way, I would love to see a test on this. I've done lots of checks. I cannot find where anybody has actually tested this scientifically. So if anyone out there knows of a video or a website, an article where this has been tested, please link to it in the comments. But for now, this is what I have to tell you about wooden cutting boards. Wooden cutting boards are glued together. So in between all of these pieces of wood, there's a layer of glue that holds them together. That glue is actually harder than wood. So when you're cutting against your cutting board, you're actually cutting across the glue as well. Now it's not a major big deal, but it's there. When you have an end grain cutting board, because you have to go in little squares, you're gonna have more glue points that you're cutting across. So I'm not convinced that an end grain cutting board is any better. But again, please, if anybody knows for a fact or can show us actual evidence of this, I would absolutely love to see it. So that being said, end grain cutting boards are beautiful and they scratch less, so they look really nice all the time. Edge grain cutting boards work just fine though. So wood, good material for your knife. Nice and soft, you can cut your knife onto it. It's not gonna hurt your knife. What other materials are available? Well, we've seen these before. These are in every restaurant. There's a plastic cutting board. What's great about a plastic cutting board? It's just as easy on your knife as a wooden cutting board is. The only drawback though is that a wooden cutting board sort of heals itself, right? So as you cut into it and it scratches up, it kind of heals itself. These don't. So the more you cut into these, the more little shards and bits of plastic start to come out of them. And then you end up with that plastic seasoning in your food and you don't want that. Okay, now I know I've heard some people talk about it as microplastics. I wouldn't call that microplastics. I would call it just plastic. Probably you'd pass most of it, but I still don't feel good about eating plastic, so I would avoid that. I don't use these plastic cutting boards very often. I only have a couple of uses for them. But what advantage you do have with the plastic cutting board is you can throw it in your dishwasher. So I do have a couple for that. You may see these flimsy little plastic things. These are great in your fishing tackle box or something like that. If you just need to do some quick work on something, I wouldn't use these for anything serious. I know a lot of people who live like in apartments or whatever and don't have a lot of room buy these. I would not buy this. Just buy anything else for that. And here's why. This is the same plastic as this, so it can still scratch up and release plastics, but now you're laying it on top of the hard surface of your counter, which means it's not really giving enough cushion to your knife for it to be even worth much of anything. So it's better than cutting directly on your countertop, but it's not great. So, and these things are super cheap. We keep these around to like put stuff on or whatever. We don't cut on them. Okay. What else do we have? We have some materials that I don't have represented here. Glass. Back in the 90s, glass was all the rage, glass cutting boards. What a terrible idea. If you cut on glass, you're dulling your knife. If you cut on anything hard, if I cut on my countertop, this quartz countertop is going to damage my knife. If you have granite or you have marble, that's even worse. Those things are hard. Do not cut on them. Don't cut on glass. Okay, these surfaces are really bad for your knife. And here's how you know. If you're cutting on the surface and the surface isn't getting scratched, it's because the damage is all happening to your knife. One of these things has to give, right? So don't cut on hard surfaces. Right now, the big rage is titanium, and this is driving me nuts and sort of what prompted me to do this video. There are all these advertisements for titanium cutting boards because titanium doesn't is somehow bacteria resistant or bacteria proof. That is absolutely false, like 1,000% false. Titanium is one of the worst materials for holding on to bacteria, which is making me gonna go kind of roll backward through these materials and talk about bacteria control. Hard surfaces, non-porous, I should say, non-porous surfaces hold bacteria longer than porous surfaces, because if there are pores in the surface, the bacteria separates, then it dries out, and bacteria without moisture dies. So how about something like stainless steel or any kind of steel? If you have a steel knife, right? The steel knife is going to hold onto bacteria for a really long time. So you need to wash your knives immediately after every single use. No matter what I use this knife for, I'm straight to the sink with it. I'm washing my knife almost as often as I'm washing my hands. So same thing if you had like a titanium cutting board. When I say it holds on to bacteria, when I tell you how long stainless steel or titanium holds on to bacteria, you're going to choke. But it can hold on to bacteria for up to a month. Up to a month. Now, of course, if you wash it, you're going to kill the bacteria. But just think about that. Your titanium is not shedding bacteria. It's not bacteria proof in any way. So if you went out and bought one of these titanium cutting boards, do not fret though. They are beautiful. Serve cheese on them. But do not use them as cutting boards because they're terrible for your knives and they're going to make you sick. So they're just awful things. And they're ridiculously expensive. So again, if you want to use it as a beautiful serving tray, they are very lovely. I've seen some of them. They're very nice. I actually thought about buying one for this video and just keeping it for that use. But then they're also really expensive. Going back through plastic, and oh, I forgot to mention another great material for cutting boards is called composite. They have composite cutting boards. These are great because they self-heal like wood, so they don't give plastic into your food, but they're also, you can put them in the dishwasher and they're also soft for your knives. They're really expensive, but if you got the money for one, they're really a good option, especially because you can put them in your dishwasher. But going back to plastic and composite, the composite I just mentioned, they hold on to bacteria too. Not like steel and titanium, but they'll hold on to bacteria for 2 or 3 days. So if you use a plastic cutting board or a composite cutting board, please make sure that as soon as you're done with it, you wash it. When I use my plastic cutting board, I wash it with soap and hot water in the sink, and then I put it in my dishwasher because that's how paranoid I am about it. Which brings us back to wood. Wood holds on to good dry wood like this that you know, if I leave water on the wood, then that's going to change this. But when the wood is dry and clean, it holds on to bacteria for like 3 to 10 minutes. Minutes, not days, minutes. So yeah, wooden cutting board, much safer cutting board. Now here's the one thing I want to tell you about, well, I'm going to tell you a couple things about wooden cutting boards. One of them is don't wash your wooden cutting board with detergent. So I've heard people say, well, yeah, you can't throw them in the dishwasher, so just wash them with soap in the sink. Don't do that either. Again, bacteria is not going to live on this thing long. If you wash the cutting board, you're letting moisture into the cutting board, which will help the bacteria actually live longer. And then detergent is designed to break down oil. There's oil in the wood. As you use the wooden cutting board, the oils will start to dry up and you'll have to re-oil it. But if you're washing it with detergent, you're breaking down the oil yourself very quickly. A good cutting board, like the one I use daily, which is behind me over here, I oil that thing like twice a year. That's all it needs. This cutting board we only use as sort of a serving tray. This one's like every year, every 2 years I have to oil it. It's no big deal. What do you oil cutting boards with? Oil them with, well, there's several options. They sell nice oils for cutting boards that probably work great. I just use mineral oil. Mineral oil is good because it's food safe and it doesn't have any color or any taste to it. So that's what I use, but you can use, just keep your eyes open. Just don't use furniture grade oils. Like don't use linseed oil or what's that furniture polish stuff you put on. Don't use that for your cutting boards because it's not food safe. Last thing about cutting boards warp. Wooden cutting boards. Last thing about wood. Wooden cutting boards warp. Okay, this cutting board has feet which will mitigate its warping. So it doesn't want to warp because it's getting air underneath it and on top of it, and so it's not prone to gathering moisture. The cutting board I have behind me here, this cutting board does not have feet, and I like that because it means I can turn my cutting board over every so often and use the other side of it. But why do I turn my cutting board over? Because it warps. So, you know, that's the trade-off. I could get a cutting board with feet and not really have to worry about it. But that one I get to turn over. It means that I'm not cutting on the same surface all the time, but it also means it warps. So I got to cut it over, turn it over to sort of get it to warp back the other direction. So these are all things just to keep in mind about your cutting boards. All wooden cutting boards are going to warp on you, but feet help mitigate that. So some things to think about. You can remember wood is better for your knives, also better for bacteria, but wood requires a little bit of maintenance. Plastic, straight up plastic, and get plastic into your food, but you can also wash it in the dishwasher and it's nice on your knives. Composite, the best of both worlds, but also very expensive. And then hard surfaces like glass and titanium, just ignore those. Do not cut on those. And remember, whatever you're cutting on your cutting board, always remember that the most important ingredient is love.